Hey, everybody. Welcome back to 12 Days of PODMAS of Built Like This podcast. I am your host, Maxine, and we're on PODMAS episode 12. We did it. We did it, Joe. Oh my goodness, we did it. We made it to the last episode of the year, the last episode of our Podmas series for 2023. Shout out to everybody for listening, for following along from the beginning until the very end. And those of you who are catching up, I really appreciate it. You know, it's so funny to me when people will be like, "Oh, I'm listening to to Podmas episode 2." I'm like, I'm on 12 though. Why aren't you listening it to why aren't you listening it oh my gosh, why aren't you listening to it in live time? Butchered that whole line. But anyway, I appreciate every listen in whatever capacity you're listening to this podcast. You are great. It's because of you. It's because of you. No, seriously, I really do appreciate every listen. So shout out to the 83 subscribers. I know my goal was to have 100 by now, but hey, look, I'm grateful for where we are and we will continue to grow. You know, it's only up from here. So think about it like this: you are with me at the very beginning. Once this takes off, nigga. But that ass, though, I think it's really humbling and it's fun to say, wow, I was with her when she only had 83 subscribers on YouTube, or I think that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get into these topics for today's last Podmas episode of the year. What do I have on the dock? Okay, so let's first talk about Maths, aka Married at First Sight Denver season. This is season 17. And at this point, this show could just end right now. At this point, this show could just end right now. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Literally, every couple on this season is a dub. Wait, dub is which one's no? I think dub is actually a win, right? I'm not one of these little kids, girl. But basically, what I'm saying is all of these couples are a failure. I am thoroughly disappointed with the matchups. Let's talk about religion here. I know this has been a hot topic, but I want to get into the fact that this is a convenient excuse that many of these couples are using as a reason why they're not going to work. You have Austin and Becca. Becca is the one with the pink hair. Becca is the one who says she has endometriosis, so she suffers from chronic pain. And she's married to Austin, who seems to like her, but you don't really know because he says all the time that he likes to move things slow. He would rather not have sex as quickly as she would like. She's a sex positive woman and she is hoping that they could get the sex on the roll. It's unfortunate, but they're kind of just ice skating around each other. They're making out, they're kissing, but I feel like there is no chemistry between them. I feel like they lack that je ne sais quoi. Like there's no oomph, there's no lust, I would say. Maybe it's one-sided just from her to him, but as far as him feeling her like that, I don't think so. What we see between them is we see that they clearly have a lot in common. They have a lot of similar interests. They have the same type of personality, humor, and that's fine. But I need to know if you're my man, if you're my husband, if you're my married at first sight husband, I need to know you lust for me just as I lust for you. And it's clear there's no lusting happening despite the makeouts, because I feel like you could make out with anybody, which and you honestly you could have SCX with anybody, regardless if you're attracted to the person. But typically, at the very least, you could make out with anybody whom you're not even remotely attracted to. So I'll excuse that between them. But when it comes to anything more, it stops right there. In the latest episode, you see that they talk to Dr. Pia. I'm like mumbling over my words, sorry. They talk to Dr. Pia. And they come to the revelation that Austin is suddenly okay with if they were to do other sexual things aside from intercourse sexual things. Now, I feel like he was just saying that just to kind of pacify her, knowing that she obviously wants to jump his bones and he's not there with that. So he's like, okay, you can suck my dick. Okay, I'll just let you suck my dick. Like, what? Since when do you have to convince your man? If you like, I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I just think at the very least, he's not into her like that. I don't know. He just doesn't find her attractive, or he just doesn't feel that spark that he is probably expecting. But there is nothing there. So I don't see much hope for them. Like, despite them seemingly being the only one out of all the couples to be the one who is the most affectionate, the most, oh, we get each other, like the most connected, it's not looking good. So yeah, so during their conversation with each other, they learned that they are totally at different spectrums when it comes to religion. Austin is a Christian. He identifies as such. And I think he actually says he's Baptist. So that's like big Christian. It's not like, oh, I go to church. No. I fully believe Jesus Christ died and rose again on the third day. Christian. Okay. I believe in the word. The Bible is true, infallible Christian. That is the type of Christian he is. Now, he doesn't come on the show and start preaching, but he has said on a few occasions that he's Christian. And that's not something that he is necessarily trying to waver from. Now, he has demonstrated some openness when it comes to the fact that she's not at the same rate as him, but she is not even not at the same rate. She is completely not there, meaning she's an atheist. She identifies as such. And I just find that to be so jarring. Jarring. You mean to tell me you are in a relationship, in a marriage, in a marriage with a man who has a relationship with God, who believes in a God, who identifies as a Christian, who grew up as Baptist, still identifies as Baptist, and you mean to tell me you don't believe in any, like, you completely reject, deny, just discourage any type of faith? Yeah, that's not gonna work out. That's not gonna work out. But my thing is, I wonder during the recruitment process or just during the initial process of this whole experiment, did either of them, well, particularly Austin, did he not say, hey, this is a non negotiable for me? I need to be with someone who has faith in the Lord. Whether that person is a staunch believer or not, I absolutely will not accept someone who is an atheist. So I just find it so convenient that their religious differences is now the leading reason why they may not work out, or that he's presenting so far in different conversations with the group, with Dr. Pia, with each other. You're seeing that he is making it clear, yeah, this is going to be a obstacle between us, yada yada yada. So I'm like, okay, is he just pulling that out of his ass just to kind of get out of the situation by still maintaining this nice guy appearance? Or does he really believe that this is not going to work? Which I feel like is a fault on him, because you should have been very clear from the beginning. I really don't think, as weird as maths have been when it comes to the matching of the couples, I don't think they would mess around when it comes to something like that. I feel like they would have respected the wishes of their couples. So I don't know. So that's not gonna work out. Cam and Claire. What is going, like, I feel like Claire she's a good listener, right? But I think that's just by default because she's a therapist. That's literally her job, is to listen, and to listen well, and to be in tune, and just be there. But she does it on such a professional way that, though I may have a constructive conversation with you, I don't feel like they will ever go out of their way and disrespect each other. I feel like Claire is very self-aware, emotionally intelligent, that she knows how to carry the conversation. She knows how to have a conversation. She knows how to say, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that." Like, she doesn't lead with her pride. And I appreciate that she is like that. I think that's very inspiring. I find that to be commendable. That's great. But where is the Claire that's the wife? Where's the Claire who is in love with her husband, or who wants to be in love with her husband? Where's the Claire who wants to hold him, put her feet on him? Where's that Claire? Because all I'm seeing is Dr. Claire. Are you not? I'm sorry. Is this married at first sight between therapists? What's going on? It's just weird. So anyway, the topic of religion is another um issue here with this couple. You see Claire talking about she's the one who's the staunch Christian, and Cam, I think he's a full-on atheist as well. And I just like, wait, these are just such strong spectrums. Like, we are at completely different ends when it comes to religion here. Why would you think it was okay to match these two? I feel like even if they didn't make it clear in their application process that, hey, religion's not a big deal, I could be matched with whomever, I don't mind. I still think at the very least, the matchmakers, like the therapists, the doctors, whoever is responsible, the producers, should have known better and should have been like, you know what, let's at least pair this person with someone who believes in God, but may not be a faithful believer, may not be someone who goes to the church frequently. At the very least, have someone like that. Child, it's just a dub. Like, all these people are whack as fuck. Okay, so now let's talk about Orion, Oreo as, and Lauren. What is going on? I really want to know what's going on, because it was 2 episodes ago they not even talked about it. They determined that we will move forward with a divorce. That's what they said. Well, Orion was the one who said that. He couldn't forgive the Redskin comment, the joke that Lauren made that was so nigga, shut the fuck up. Are you about to cry right now? Because she just, it slipped out of her mouth. Oh, that's why your face, now I understand why your face is Redskin. So what? How old is he? Your 28-year-old ass is so offended by a joke that wasn't even flushed out well. Like, I feel like it wasn't like, it literally slipped out of her mouth. Like, oh, that's why your face is Redskin. She was making a comment really on the fact that your skin is blotchy, my nigga. Like, that's what she was saying. Laura should have been like, nah, hold on. You're not gonna paint me out to be this racist. First of all, I'm a black woman. And you're trying to make me seem like this bigot, this racist, someone who hates indigenous people. First of all, I'm indigenous. Let's talk about that. I'm an FBA motherfucker. That's what Laura should have done. Laura should have did that. Like, hold on. I'm sorry. I realized what I said offended you. That was not my intent. Okay? But what we're not going to do, we're not going to make it seem like I'm this fucking racist KKK ass. I'm black. Hello, I'm a foundational black American. How about that? Tariq Nasheed? How about But I just find it to be so hilarious. Like, how dare you spin the victim card on me? Is this like the battle of who is more victimized in America? This season sucks. So Lauren, what I can appreciate though about their marriage or during the time they were together is they had very productive, or not even productive. Yeah, I mean, on the book, productive conversations. Like, it's clear that they know how to pick words out to have a non-defensive conversation. Like, they know how to use their words in like a college friendly type of way. Like, it's very like PC the way that they talk to each other. Make sure you are liking this video on YouTube, by the way, y'all. So I appreciate in advance for liking this YouTube video. Appreciate it. And make sure you are subscribed. You are locked in with this content. I appreciate your support. If you are not subscribed yet, come on. At this point, seriously, you come on. Okay, so Orion and Lauren, I'm just upset that they're in the show still. Like, why am I still seeing Orion's face? Why am I still seeing Lauren cry? And I think ultimately, maybe she still is crying about the loss of her mother, which I sympathize with. That is so devastating. I'm not taking that away from her. I just wish she wasn't crying about him anymore. I just wish her cries would be not at the opportune time after she had a argument with him. I do like that Lauren has been just like picking up her voice with him, like, no, what we're not gonna do. I mean, you're a gaslighter. And like, she's been speaking up and saying what she needs to say. Really, what I think it is, he's not into you, girl. Take that literally. And he's not into anyone like you. Okay? He's into somebody else. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion. He's not into you. It's not personal, it's him. So, crying for what? He said himself at the first episode, the first introduction. Mind you, we have yet to see a scene of Orion telling Lauren, hey, by the way, I had a little rendezvous with a man. Just wanted to let you know. And sure, he came to the conclusion after sucking a guy off, talking about, oh, I realize I'm not really into guys like that. Are you? It took for you to, okay. Nigga, you are. You just wasn't into him. Someone else you may be. Or, y'all fell out and that's why that's why you're saying I'm not into men anymore. I think it's something else. Lauren, it's not you, boo. You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. And that joke wasn't bad. Okay? His skin, that's what she was trying to say. His skin was blotchy. And it was. Look at the damn scene again. Sir, do you have sunscreen on? But yeah, this season's a dub. I don't think I'm saying that right. It's a failure. Let me just say that. It's a failure. Okay. Brennan is a freaking asshole. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because I felt like, oh, he's attractive, like he's a handsome gentleman, especially out of all of the men on the show. I feel like he is the most handsome. Though that is still true. I'm not gonna take that away from him. I'm not gonna take that away from him. What am I saying? I'm not gonna take his looks away from him. What? But I mean, the point is his attraction is still intact. Okay. But internally, I don't find, look at my hand disappearing. I need a background green screen so it doesn't look like my background is taking my hand away. Oh my God, where's my hand? But shout out to this background. I love it. It's so fun. Shout out to my Canva account. But yeah, like, first of all, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Am I okay? So I am dressed right now because I'm about to head out and celebrate one of my friends who I see her as a mentor in my life. I keep on saying it all the time, but yeah, she's a mentor in my life. Her birthday is today. I'm heading out to celebrate her. Should be a cool time. So, but I just feel like ultimately, I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed. This season has been ass. I see no uh possibilities of a yes between any of the couples. I feel like they're wasting our time. Brennan has an attitude problem. You can't tell him crap. And I like how Emily, as inexperienced as she is when it comes to relationships, she is very experienced on how to speak to someone. I think she excels in her emotional intelligence. She is so connected with her. Like I like her. I'm very impressed with her behavior. I feel like she is the most mature in this relationship. And for Brennan to be someone who has ex-girlfriends, he just doesn't, you could tell he hasn't learned much. He's just very self-absorbed. He doesn't know how to be reflective and personable, and he doesn't know how to laugh. Just stick up his ass. He's just a whack. So Emily, I see great things in her future. God bless her. Okay, let's get into Jeannie Mai. Yes, the Asian persuasion who did not persuade Jeezy to stay with her. The dome. At this point, I'm about to go on the road. That was a good one. Hello, shout out to me. So Jeannie Mai claims that her daughter is unsafe with Jeezy because of his guns. If this bitch don't get out of my, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? So according to People Magazine, Jeannie Mai rejects Jeezy's gatekeeping allegations about their daughter, and she raises safety concerns over rappers' firearms. The television personality alleges Jeezy firearms have been left unsecured in the past. Okay. Jeannie Mai Jenkins continues, and she still has his last name. At this point, let it drop it. Drop it. Continues to deny previous accusation made by her estranged husband, Jeezy, that she is gatekeeping their daughter from him. Her lawyers are saying, quote, "It is essential to clarify that Miss Jenkins' insistence on reasonable safety measures being put in place, such as safely securing and locking away all firearms that have been unsecured in the past, as well as having familiarity and properly trained caregivers, is absolutely not gatekeeping, but rather a responsible effort to protect their daughter's well-being." First of all, were you not concerned with his firearms before? You pulling shit out your ass. He just has guns laying out. Just one gun here, one gun there, one gun everywhere. There's one on the coffee table. There's one right on her baby seat in the car. There's one on the baby seat in the kitchen. There's one on the counter. She's making it seem like he got guns everywhere. First of all, stop. Stop it. I can tell you he does not. I've been to his house. I haven't. No, I'm kidding. But I could tell you he hasn't. He doesn't, like, that's silly. That's silly. That's one. And let's talk about firearms for a second, because I think we are so uneducated when it comes to firearms. And there's this judgment on, oh, if you have guns, you have to lock it away or it has to be locked up. Explain to me, how does that work? Because if, God forbids, there is an intruder, your gun is locked in a safe in the attic under the 5th floor. Making shit up, but like, it's completely stored away, not to your convenience, where you could easily access it and protect yourself and your family, because it's that locked away. You see what I'm saying? There needs to be a gun unsecured and out and about. There needs to be, you never know what can happen. I'm saying this as someone who doesn't even have a gun yet, but I totally am in support of having guns in reachable destinations by the bedside and by like the not where you sit down in the living room, right next to it. Like there should be like a little container, a little storage area, gun. I'm dead ass. There should be a gun probably in every room, every main room at least, because you never know. And for Jeezy to have the history that he does, first of all, isn't he still a gangster? I'm sorry. No matter how shaven and bald headed he is now, and how smooth he's talking to Nia Long trying to bag, that nigga is still with the shits, okay? And he probably still has enemies and ops. So at the very least, you should have a gun unsecured. And by unsecured, again, I simply mean in convenient locations for you to access. That's what I mean. What are we talking about? How you bring a knife to a gunfight? Stop. Like, we have to stop. And then her even making it clear that he has firearms, I feel like it's dangerous already, because so let's say he does have legal rights to carry. Yes, we have in the Constitution, right to carry a firearm, but people don't be respecting that. Cops still will show up at your house and be like, "Oh, we heard you have a gun," and lock his ass up. When it's like, wait, I'm sorry, isn't it my right to have a firearm in my possession? And I have the legal papers. I forget the term for it, but there are legal papers that could license. Yeah, you're licensed for it. Like, I am certified in having this gun. So what's the issue again? So her being this Asian woman with this black man, she still doesn't know exactly what that means. You have to not be so open about some things like that, especially if considering he still may have enemies in the past from his past life still around, maybe in proximity. You can't just say, "Oh, he has firearms at the firearms at the firearms." You can't make that obvious to his op. I'm talking like a queen pin, a girlfriend of a gangster. I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of movies, okay? And I feel like at the very least, we should be, or she should be, um, a little bit more just sneaky, or just, just smart with it. Street smarts. It's so stupid. But anyway, I feel like with her, she is, of course, hurt. Apparently, allegedly, he filed out of the blue. So she's hurt. This is speaking from a place of bitterness. And I hope they could come to a resolution that meets both parties. And he gets access to his child on a consistent basis. Now, let's not act like he doesn't have other children, though. I feel like the conversations around this situation makes it seem like he's fighting for his life to get his child with her, Monaco, to be in his custody, or to have shared custody at least. And it's like, first of all, does she have other kids too? Like, what about their custodies? Where is the same energy for those kids? Because I don't hear you talk about them at all, but I know he has other kids. Now, at this point, they're probably in their teens at the very least. But just energy around, I need to have Monaco. I'm not saying that's what he said, but from the reports that we're seeing, it seems like he just has a lot of energy and time to fight for the custody of this child. And it's like, where was that energy for your other kids? What about the other kids you have with black women? But I don't mean to go there. I don't mean to go there. But I will pull out the race car if need be. Shout out. Shout out. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna end it here. This has been fun. It's been fun. I'm gonna go on a week break. May you all have a great Christmas Eve. Happy New Year's Eve and Happy New Year's. And I will check in with you all in a couple of weeks. This is great. I feel great. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.